In part 1 of this rock pooling video, we came across this very weird thing and I had to go away and look up what it was. It is in fact an animal. It's a type of bryozoan that we usually find encrusting across things, but this has formed a colony, and actually it can form a rash if you touch it too much, so probably shouldn't do what I did there. This species is called sea chervil. If this is something you want to learn more about, I'll do a sea life sketchbook session where I tell you a ton of weird facts about it. Just comment below to let me know if that interests you. Another one of those weird sandworms, but it's in the sand, but like upside down to where I thought like the head of the worm would be. So the smaller end is sticking up. I didn't know they stuck up. This weird worm creature. I still don't know what they are yet, I haven't worked it out. So this is an ice cream worm. Okay, it sounds really weird, or an ice cream cone worm, but that's named after the tube that it makes out of sand, which is only 1 grain of sand thick. And the reason it was upside down is because this worm species uses what those frilly things on the front look like as digging tools. So it digs its way through the sand, uses the tentacles that you can see on the front to sort out the sand, and then kind of takes in some of the sand, gets the nutrients and particles out of it, and then it excretes it out the other end. Wow, that is so incredible. That worm was stunning. I rarely enjoy kind of disturbing an animal, but I was really intrigued to see if that was sticking in the sand because it had been like, I don't know, left there by the tide. And as soon as I lifted it up, this worm kind of like fell out. And I feel like if I disturbed him, then I should kind of make the most of recording it, sharing it, getting as much information about that animal as I can to ID it later. And that means I'm not going to have to disturb any of those other species, because now I know what they are and I've got footage of them and I can show you guys. So thank you to that little amazing gorgeous worm. Such elaborate frills, and you can see its gills, and I can't wait to Google and learn more about this species. That it was really pretty, and I know people were like, oh, it's a worm, but like, look at it, look at it. These sandworms really stabilise the sediment, so when they're really dense, it protects them against, you know, the power of the waves and the tide, and they kind of form sandbanks. And it's really cool to see so many in one spot. I love imagining that I'm tiny and that I'm kind of living through maybe like a baby fish size, but you know, if you're a really tiny person, and something like this looks like a really cool alien fantasy forest. And to something small like rock pooling creatures, this is its own mini ecosystem right on a beach, a little foresty paradise for lots of little creatures like amphipods to kind of nestle in and shelter up in and survive. And that's why things like worms are so important on the sandy shore, because they're stabilisers. They stabilise the environment, and that has knock-on effects, not just for them but for so many other species. I don't know how you can see, but because now we're on a part of the beach where there's quite a lot of those sand mason worms that are stabilising the sediment, there are these kind of pools that start to form where the sand kind of builds up and there's dips with all the hydrodynamic kind of movement of the sand and everything. So I'm going to see if I can look in there and see if we can find some cool stuff. come. I was filming some nice seaweeds, some little things living in the seaweeds. A tiny little shrimp came up, it was really cute. And then I started to notice the hundreds and thousands of tiny itsy bitsy fish that were swimming around. And these are the shots that I got. Oh look, sand. More sand. Oh, there's some sand. Some more sand. Oh wait, is there a fish? No, just sand. Oh wait, now I've made it all silty. Great. I tried to get pictures of the sand, it got too silty, and then I moved on to the next one. Look, I'm just about to find a fish. Oh, we're slowing it down. Look at this amazing slow motion footage. Are we going to see a fish? Look up to the top left corner. Whoa. Yeah, it was there and now it's gone. Wow. It was tough. I could not get a video of a fish for ages. There was a slight movement there. Just so much non-fishness when there were so many fish. But finally, look at this little guy that just stayed still for a little bit. We're gonna name him Oscar for his Oscar-winning performance in front of the camera. Thank you, Oscar. Also, with filming the sand, I noticed afterwards on this like slow speed footage that I keep seeing these like little tentacles pop out of the water and spin round. I'm going to make a video all about some weird species I found on the rocky shore that I haven't been able to ID, and that's definitely going to be included. So make sure to subscribe to keep up to date and watch that video, because there is a lot of weird stuff that I haven't shared yet. I am covered in mud. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of tiny sand-coloured shrimps and fish. And it's glorious to see, absolutely glorious, because you know that, okay, not all of them are going to make it, but there are going to be a lot of fish species, fish individuals, and just fish in general growing up over summer and going out off into their big wide world. But they are so frustrating to film. I think I managed to film one or two because they are so well blended in. You just see them dart around like crazy, and I even tried to get some high speed footage. Hopefully that will come out, because if the high speed footage comes out, maybe you'll see how many there are. But you've got like 2 seconds when you're about a metre away from the pool to get there before they stop darting, and then you can't see them. They really well hidden, and I mean that's the point. It's a great example. My frustration is a great example of exactly why they've evolved that way, because birds are gonna be struggling to get there and do that, but like, oh my god, like they're so well blended in, and there's so many of them. I think that's what makes it harder, is because you're like, oh my god, I must have seen like 10,000 of these things, and I can only film 2, and it's really cool. And I kind of gave up on staying out of the mud. I was like fully in it, like I will get this picture. So hopefully when I look back on the footage after I wash my hands when I get home, you will see some not completely blurry, not just darting, little sand gobies and little shrimpies, because I've seen a lot of them today. So I'm hoping you guys get to see like at least one. Oh, and I should say that usually I say put your wellies on and go rock pooling. And normally wellies are much better, but it turns out that the sea is lovely and warm here and it's quite nice getting my feet wet. But if you do not want sand to rub in your shoes, or you don't really like having soggy feet for a few hours, then I don't recommend the trainer method and go back to the usual wellies. But oh, there's something freeing about having sand in your toes. But I will complain on the walk back when it starts to rub. It's a trade-off. Well, I am this far from the shore and camera battery has died, so I think we shall end it there. It has been a wonderful, muddy, lovely session on the beach looking for incredible species. I will see you next week with another video. Don't forget to subscribe and share to support this channel, and let me know in the comments down below if you like my sandy shore rock pooling vlogs. Bye everyone.